Hello everyone, Ali from Boost Your Body here. I would like you to run you through the second workout that you can choose for the reopening of our studio. Okay, this workout is mainly using barbells. We're going to be using dumbbells with 2 exercises, but it's not going to get very confusing. You can discuss what ways to choose, ultimately, what ways to choose before you start your class with your trainer who knows you very well. But I'm going to try to do my best to guide you through how to choose the weights for each and every exercise as much as I can in this video. Okay, so our first exercise is a barbell stiff leg deadlift. This is the first exercise out of the 4 exercises that we're going to go for as our first lot of exercises. So we need, at this point, what we need to do is, with the barbell, we need to have our plates and the barbell, and we need to think about what weights we're going to use before we start, so we can keep all the weights by our side. The perk of using a barbell is you don't have much mess around you, but using a barbell requires more strength. So if you're not feeling very strong, I would recommend you start with the first workout, then decide to progress onto this one, within the next few weeks, or you can try to progress into the harder workouts as we go along in the following few months. Okay, so on the stiff leg deadlift, remember that this is going to be your heaviest load. Okay, on the barbell. Okay, so this is going to be our heaviest load. What I have on this here is ideally, I got 27 kilos right now, but you will determine your own weight for it. But as I reminded you, start off a bit lighter than what you normally would, because we have taken a break from strength training. Okay? Most important point is about the stiff leg deadlift with the barbell first. Get your shoelace, where your shoelaces start on your shoes should be right underneath the barbell, so you're very close to the barbell. Second, when you're first picking it up, don't go down just lazy like that. Go down and pick it up with a squat, just like a normal deadlift, and pick it up that way. Second important, third, keep the feet hip width apart and hands a bit wider than your hips. Okay. The third important thing, this is an action where we hinge from the waist, so there is minimum usage of legs. So what we are doing here is we're hinging from the waist, keep it, and going down until our upper body or your chest gets parallel to the floor. At this point, as you can see, I don't block out my knees. So don't block out your knees and go down. Let your knees bend slightly, feel that big stretch on the hamstrings. And when you're at that point, from there with a strong core and straight back, you want to pull up, squeeze the glutes. Okay, take another breath, then go down, inhale as you go down, and exhale as you pull up. Another important thing, you don't want this barbell getting away from you. So what I generally do, just to keep myself in the perfect form and keep myself safe, I just slide that barbell down my legs all throughout the exercise and just pull up from there, especially going down. I never go down very quickly, stay in control, come up and squeeze the glutes. So this is our stiff leg deadlift. Second exercise, we're going to do goblet squats. Okay, for this one you just need one single heavy dumbbell. You might remember what we were using for your goblet squats, but please, before you start to train, you might have a little discussion about that with your trainer. Okay, I'm going to go for 15 kilos here. This is a bit lighter than what I normally would, because I've taken a long break from strength training as we were closed, so I'm not going to push it too much in my first few classes. So get into a wide stance, wider than your hips. You want your toes in line with your knees. Just hold this dumbbell. Just lock your hands at the end of your palms under the barbell like this. This is very safe and secure. and you want to keep that dumbbell very close to your legs, very close to your body all throughout. Don't let dumbbell get away from you. Don't hold it further away. Just literally place your hands over your chest and go for it that way. And from there, you're gonna push the glutes back, keeping our weight on the heels. If you hit 90 degrees on the inside of your knee, that's perfectly fine. If you go a bit low, if you can go a bit lower than that, that would be amazing. But it's not a must. And as soon as we start to drive up with our weights on our heels, we start to squeeze our glutes. Okay, that takes a lot of pressure off our knees. So go down, start squeezing the glutes as you push up. Fantastic. And squeezing the glutes would actually, it has a big effect on your form too. So squeeze the glutes and never go down too quickly. You want to control that drop. If you can be quick, be quick going up, please. Okay? Then we're going to go for our third exercise, a single leg glute bridge. So what we do is, so for example, I've done this with 15 kilos, the goblet squat with 15 kilos. What I want to do is on a single leg glute bridge is maybe go in comparison to that for a 6 kilo or a 7 kilo dumbbell. Okay? Because we're going to do a single leg, there's already a lot of resistance because of our body weight on this exercise, so you don't necessarily need something very heavy. Okay, so what we're going to do is place that dumbbell on the side where you're going to work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stabilizing that dumbbell over my hip with my hand, sticking one leg out, and from there I'm going to go push for a single leg glute bridge. Weight on the heel. As you hit the top, try to think about your glutes and try to squeeze it as best as you can. It's not going to feel like you're squeezing it, but just think about it and get those, recruit the muscles. The rest is going to be done when you do that. And just keep that dumbbell on your hip all throughout. Because you're keeping it on a single side, you can literally put the bar of that dumbbell on your hip, stabilize it with your hand, the other hand on the floor, foot sticking out. Your weight is on your heel, don't push your weight towards the toe. And we're gonna go for that one. Fantastic. You might feel like your range is a bit limited compared to a normal glute bridge. That's perfectly fine because you're doing it on one leg. Okay? Right after that, we're gonna get up. You can either use very light weights or no weight for this one. I'm not going to use any weights because all these 4 exercises back to back are going to work my legs. I don't feel the need to do any extra dumbbell, any extra resistance at this stage. So what we're going to do is we're going to do split squats on each side. So a very tiny side step, so you maintain a bit of a space to keep your balance in check throughout the exercise. Then a relatively bigger back step. When you take that back step, important things. First, keep that back heel off the floor. Second, as you go down, remember to bend both knees simultaneously. Sometimes I find it easier for people if they think about bending their back knee first, they do it better. Because as soon as you do that, you're going to drop down on a straight line and you're going to keep that knee safe behind the toes. And coming up, you're just going to press up from that front heel. And come up. Another most important thing is throughout this exercise, if you step too much further back, as you're coming up, you're going to feel pressure on the hip flexor. You shouldn't feel any pressure on your hip flexors. This is about your glutes and quads. So that back leg is just supporting you. Your weight is mainly on that front foot's heel. So going down, coming up, and never lock out your knees at the top. Okay, just come and drive up. And we're going to do that on each side for 6 times. And that's going to be the end of our first lot of exercises. The second lot of exercises, we're going to use a light set of dumbbells. That can be one of the dumbbells that you use during your single leg glute bridge. And we will use some weight on the barbell, okay? So, for example, I started so we're going to use the barbell, so we need to take the weights on and off the barbell. So what I need to, if you remember, I started with 27 kilos. I can't expect my shoulders to carry that load. It's a much smaller and a weaker muscle group, okay, than my hamstrings and my back and my core combined. So we need to really drop our weights. One indication on this can be, for example, if you can do 2 5s with a dumbbell, you can easily get 2 5-kilo plates on a barbell and kind of pick it up from there, okay? So you need to go really light. Again, discuss it with your trainer if you want to go for this routine. Okay, so what we do here is, first we pick up that barbell. We always pick it up in the most secure position. What we need to do is, we need that barbell up over here, okay? This is a good technique to get the barbell. It's going to be light, it's not very important, but you want to kind of, as you're getting it up, you want to keep your elbows close to your torso at all times and kind of pull it up, use that momentum, flick it up, as they call it, a simple snatch, and from there we can start the exercise. Okay, this is a shoulder exercise, so we need to keep a very strong core, and from there, and we shouldn't let our wrists go back too much. So when you're under a bar, your wrist should be fairly straight under the bar, not pulling your hands backwards towards you, okay? And from there, I generally do to the wide stance, helps me with my balance. We need to push that weight up. As we drop it down, if you bring the barbell in level with your chin, that's perfectly fine. Push it up from there and straighten the arms. If you feel like, oh, this weight is too much, it's pulling me back, there's a very simple solution. You can literally take a step back, hold that strong form that way, and work the exercise from there. Okay? So that's our first exercise. Then, our next 2 exercises, we need the exact same weight. You might want to go a bit lighter, but you can start with the same weight too. The first thing that we're going to go is barbell bicep curl. So for the sake of showing everything the right way, I'm going to go a bit lighter on this one. So what I'm going to do is I had a 5-kilo plate. I'm going to literally replace that with 325. Okay? Same thing on the other side. As you can see, when you have a barbell, things are a bit easier. You don't have to have loads of weights all around the place. So now let's get these plates out of the way. So with the next exercise, we need to have an underhand hold on our barbell. So we need to have the hands on the barbell this way, okay? And from there, you want to keep your arms right next to your torso. Make sure that your hands are evenly placed on both sides of the barbell. And from there, what we're going to do with a strong wrist, bring that barbell up to a bicep curl and bring it down with ease and control. Exhale, drop it down with control. Exhale, drop it down with control, okay? So we're going to be doing these. Right after that, nice and simple, keep your body straight, proud, strong core, and just bring that barbell, and as soon as it touches your legs, you're aiming to pull it up again. You can take a breather in between, that's not a biggie. If you're taking a breather, you don't have to just bang them back to back very quickly. That's not the issue. The exercise after that is going to be on the floor. Exact same weight, exact same barbell, okay? So what we need to do here is, this is going to be quite light barbell, okay? So we want to go on the floor, and before this exercise is done, we're going to do this exercise on our back. So what we want to do is, we want to get this barbell over us before we go down, okay? It's not going to be too heavy, so it's going to be easy to get it there. Just hold it on your hips. So what I do is, I hold on to the barbell, and as soon as I start to go down, I get a bit of help from my legs. What I do is, I go down like this, and now the barbell is secure, I'm on the floor. We want to keep our hands shoulder width apart, okay? Now we're going to stick that barbell up in the air, okay, shoulder width apart. And what we're doing is, with a strong wrist, we're dropping that barbell down, there, then pushing it up. You might see some people just going back a bit towards the top of their head and bring it up. That's perfectly fine too, okay? But to start with, to feel secure, just bend the elbow to 90 degrees and bring it up from there. You can let your elbows dip in towards the back slightly and just bring it up from there, straighten the arms. And we're going to keep it as simple as that. I generally go kind of feel the barbell getting close to my head, around there, and drive it up to straighten the arms, okay? Most important thing, when you hit the top, that barbell should be kind of on top of your chin or a bit further ahead. Don't keep it that way, because this is very secure. You don't have to fight the force of gravity. If you keep it further back, this is pulling you down, and you don't want that struggle, especially towards the end of the exercise. So drop it back a bit, pull it down to pull it up to your starting position. So those are our three exercises to work the shoulders and the arms. And right after that, so when you're done, same thing applies. Just bring the weight down, kind of place it on your hip, okay? Place it on your hip and come up from there, okay? Then get that weight off you. If you try to get, or another easy way to do it is, before coming up, what you can do on your last rep, you can just do this, finish your rep and slowly just bring it back, drop it to the floor, and you can get up with ease. That's actually a better way to do it. Okay, so our last two exercises where we're going to use the weights are, first we're going to do a bent over row with a barbell, then we're going to do a reverse fly with dumbbells, exact same like dumbbells you use for your, single leg glute bridge. So, bent over row. I want heavy weight, go for the exact same weight that you used in the first exercise. You can do it, believe me. Okay? So what we're going to do, I'm going to be a bit cheeky here because I know I can handle the weight. I'm putting all the weight back here. But as you might remember at the beginning, I started with 5 kilo plates on my barbell, then dropped to 3 25s on each side. So what you can do is, you can just put those 5 back on, bigger plates back on, and take the smaller plates out. So bent over row. What we'd like to do is, first, pick it up just like you picked it up before the deadlifts. So this is your starting position. Keep your feet hip-width apart, don't keep it too wide apart. And what we want to do is, we want to hinge down from the waist, okay? Don't go all the way down, that might catch you lower back. So if you find that place that is comfortable for you, between 45-degree angle to a 60-degree angle, hold that weight forward. Don't let the weight steer away from you, that's not what we are after. So your weight is close to you, and pull that barbell towards your belly button, okay? And as soon as you do that, you're going to get the best out of that exercise towards the belly button. Squeeze those shoulder blades at the top, and quite simple, quite straightforward, just roll it back. Barbell towards the belly button, your core is strong, legs are bent, you're solid in that position, okay? And the reason why we're bending our knees, because we're keeping that position. When we bend the knees, we take a lot of load of our lower back. Okay? So that's our exercise, last exercise with the barbell. Right after that, we're going to pick up our light weights and we're going to do reverse flies. Really work all the angles on our back. So exact same position with those rows, holding those dumbbells. So what I generally do is I bend my elbows a bit. We don't want straight arms, especially at the top. And another thing is, I keep those dumbbells parallel to my torso, gives me the best angle to work out. And from there, with an exhale, pull them back. Use your shoulder blades. Fantastic. So that's the last exercise that we do with weights. And right after that, we have a small section just to work our abs. And it's a basic exercise that works the core and the obliques at the same time. We're going to do this 25 times reps on each side. So we are going on our back. Then tilt your weight to one side, okay? And try to keep your legs in that L shape as much as you can. One hand on the floor, the other hand behind the neck. That doesn't mean that you're pulling your head forward. And from there, we're going to aim that elbow towards that knee. So right elbow to the right knee. You can have your foot on the floor. I generally put that foot on top of the other one. It feels like I'm giving it a better crunch that way. And from there, so our aim is when we're up there, the bottom of my shoulder blade is the only area that touches the floor on my left side. The rest of my left side, from beneath the shoulder blade to my glutes, is stable on the floor. Okay? So I'm getting that left shoulder off the floor as much as you can, getting into a crunch, elbow to the knee, aiming for it. Feel that big crunch, go down, exhale. I'm not pulling my neck there, it just gives me the best angle. If I keep my arm like that, and we're going to do 25 reps on each side. You don't have to rush it, take your time, and I hope you enjoy the workout. See you soon, bye bye.